Travel consideration provided by
Alex.
Was I dreaming?
No, you're in California.
I don't know if the White House will ever be the same.
Check out The Rock reigniting rumors of a presidential run. Our new interview with Dwayne Johnson is tomorrow.
Yeah, but before we go, name a cuter Critics' Choice pair than Meet Hotties Alan Kim and Belfast Jude Hill. I'll wait. There's not one. Jude took home the Best Young Actor award, much to his surprise.
I'm gonna have to be completely honest. I had nothing prepared.
The 11-year-old got some love from his big screen dad, Jamie Dornan, and a handshake from Will Smith.
But can we go back to Alan?
Oh, gosh.
He was so sharp in a red Dolce & Gabbana
The
suit.
cutest.
I mean, he looked amazing. The 9-year-old, who was back to present, cracked this joke about his emotional win from last year.
It's crazy to look at a video of a younger me. I was so emotional and inexperienced.
Well,
Happening now.
Free school lunch is already crucial for the many hungry children in our community, even more necessary now that there are price hikes in gas and food. I'm Courtney Freeman. Coming up tonight, how these changes are affecting not only families, but also schools.
And how UTSA is expanding on its promise for its students to achieve their college dreams. We're live from there next.
A few storms could actually flare up later this evening. I'll be back to tell you where and when in just a bit, along with the temperature trend for the rest of the week. The News at 5 starts right now.
And we begin with breaking news from the city's west side. First at 5, San Antonio police at the scene of a shooting where a witness tells our reporter on the scene that an officer shot someone near Hamilton Avenue and Calabria Road.
Now, this is just a few blocks away from Woodlawn Lake. We do have a crew at the scene. We are waiting on an update from SAPD. But here's what one witness told our crew. They saw an officer shoot someone.
Of course, we're waiting on an update from the San Antonio Police Department to confirm all of this. We'll provide details as soon as that information comes in. Also first at 5, not old enough to drive, but caught up in a fatal situation. A 15-year-old shot dead before midnight during what the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is describing as an apparent drug deal.
And now they're trying to figure out who did it. This happened last night on Fossil Banks near Loop 1604 and Shanefield Road. Investigators say that the victim was found at the scene.
And despite life-saving measures, he did not survive. We're talking about that 15-year-old. They're now asking anyone with surveillance or any information at all to come forward. You can email BCSO tips@bear.org or call 210-335-6000. One thing to note, you can remain anonymous. Seguin police are looking for a theft suspect who apparently has some tricks up his sleeve. They say on 2 occasions, the man you're about to see used a magic trick to steal $2,700 in cash from a Seguin Walmart. This is the guy they're looking for. The first incident happened January 10th. The second, about a month later on February 12th. They say on both occasions, the suspect distracted the employee after he was handed his change, then claimed he was given the wrong amount, and he pocketed the extra cash. If you recognize who this guy is, call Detective Schramm at this number, 830-379-2123.
Seguin police also sharing an update about a fatal crash. They say a 20-year-old woman named Elizabeth Solis is dead after the car she was in was hit by a driver yesterday afternoon. This was around 3 o'clock.
According to Seguin police, a 52-year-old woman told investigators she had been drinking before she crashed into a vehicle driven by a 22-year-old man. Both she and that driver were taken to the hospital in critical condition. Solis, who was a passenger in the man's car, airlifted to a San Antonio hospital, but she did not survive.
San Antonio firefighters are trying to figure out what ignited a fire at an Eastside home last night. And whatever it was, they say it destroyed the entire house. Now a family of 5 is having to find some new living arrangements. That fire started just before 1 o'clock in the morning on Hammond Avenue near Rigsby and I-10. Firefighters say the entire family escaped unharmed. But because of the way that the house is built with a wooden frame, they were not able to put out the flames quickly enough to save it. The next step, trying to figure out a cause.
Skyrocketing food and gas prices crushing families already struggling from the pandemic. Many choosing between getting gas or going to work or buying food. That's why school food programs have become crucial. But as Courtney Friedman reports, some of those pandemic-related programs are soon ending. Parents, teachers, and advocates are worried.
My potatoes and gravy.
This is not just a school cafeteria. It's a safe haven for many hungry children in our community.
We're noticing an influx of our kids coming in hungry. So sometimes they get hangry in the classrooms. Sometimes their lunch is all they're going to get for the rest of the day. So it's really important because some of the parents can't feed their kids right now.
Jacqueline Miguez is a second grade teacher at Windcrest Elementary, where she also has a daughter in kindergarten. She's seen the effect of the pandemic on families, and she's not the only one worried about the fallout from recent food and gas price hikes.
Since the onset of the pandemic, there's been many waivers and flexibilities that have been granted.
Stacy Sanchez is the director of No Kid Hungry Texas, which addresses child hunger across the state. She says all kids are receiving free lunches at schools like Windcrest.
Thank you.
But June 30th, that ends. And she says many parents still won't be able to afford meal plans, even at reduced rates.
We really need that flexibility from those waivers that only Congress can extend to USDA.
And the price hike and supply chain issues are hitting the schools really hard as well. They order about 40 items at a time. Pre-pandemic, maybe 3 wouldn't show up. Now it can be about half that doesn't show up.
They're not getting all the food that they need. It's at a higher price, and they're having to do a lot more with a lot less.
I just try my best to support that and to make sure that they know that they are fed and that they are loved here.
Miguez hopes schools will be able to continue that same level of support into next year. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
We want to check on gas prices for you. The cost of oil today returning to 2-digit territory. Today, the price per barrel standing at $99.76. That is the first time that oil has fallen under $100 a barrel since March 1st. So what does this mean for you? Not too much yet, but if oil prices continue to fall, it'll eventually lead to a drop in prices for you at the pump. According to AAA, today's national average is $4.32 a gallon. The statewide average, $3.99. Bexar County stands at $3.97 per gallon.
And now to the latest on the growing humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. More than 2.8 million people fleeing the war-ridden country so far.
A senior official now warning ABC News that millions more could soon be leaving that country, and neighboring countries could soon be overwhelmed with refugees. ABC's Rena Roy has more on that.
Since the Russian war on Ukraine began nearly 3 weeks ago, more than 2.8 million refugees have been forced to flee. This woman escaping Odessa after a bomb shook her home.
War is very dangerous. I have friends in Kiev. They stay on the ground by 3-4 days. They not see sky, they not see the sun. I can't imagine what they feel.
More than half of those leaving Ukraine crossing the border into Poland. Volunteers at the Krakow Jewish Community Center providing people with food, clothing, and even housing. This mother and her 7-month-old son left Lviv a week ago.
Do you know anyone here in Poland, or are you just starting a new life from scratch?
No life.
What happens next for you?
I don't know.
New refugee centers popping up all over Poland, like this one inside a former mall. What used to be stores now lined with cots. Families checking in for temporary shelter. Olga and her son arriving from hard-hit Kharkiv. This image shows a building burning next to their home. It took them 6 days to reach the border.
It was very hard to come here. What was it like leaving your home?
12 hours on border.
You spent 12 hours on the border.
Yes.
A senior official tells ABC News if this continues, there could be as many as 8 to 10 million refugees, as much as 1/5 of the Ukrainian population. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky set to speak with Congress this week. It comes just days after he asked President Joe Biden for more sanctions on Russia, including cutting the country off from international trade by closing off access to waterways. Zelensky set to give a virtual address on Wednesday. Members of Congress have said they will be committed to supporting Ukraine and to passing legislation to further cripple the Russian economy and deliver humanitarian security and economic assistance to Ukraine.
A state-run Russian media outlet now reporting that U.S. astronaut Mark Van High will return to Earth at the end of the month as planned. This after a threat was posted by the head of Russia's space agency that he could be left stranded on the International Space Station. The media outlet called TASS clarifying that statement, saying now that he will head home on Russian aircraft. NASA says that its relationship with Russian space officials is healthy and they remain neutral on geopolitical issues.
All right, on this Monday, let's check out traffic right now. This is 410 and Ingram, usually a busy spot. Not so much today. What a beautiful day it has been.
Yeah, gorgeous day today. And temperatures earlier this morning, there's a bit of a chill in the air. Mid-40s, 46 the low temperature. Then this afternoon, we spiked to 81. So below average in the morning, above average in the afternoon. And that's going to be a pretty common theme here going forward the rest of the week. Floresville, 84. Seguin right now, 83. 81 Eagle Pass. For the most part, right around 80 degrees. Lavernia currently at 83. You get to Divine, 84, and Comfort, 82. You get the idea. Low 80s for most of us this evening. A few stray storms possible. There's already a watch box just outside of our area. We'll talk about where and when we could see a few storms in a bit.
Thank you so much, Adam. As parents, we all know how expensive college can be, but today UTSA announced it's expanding a program to help ease that burden for thousands of Texas families.
Our Stephania Jimenez has more on that. Steph, they are calling this a promise.
UTSA just announced a new program. It's called Promise Plus, and what it essentially does is make college free for thousands of students. Now, this program may sound familiar to you because we've told you about something called Bold Promise in the past. This started in 2019, and it makes UTSA tuition free for 1,700 students. But this new program is freeing up more money to help more students. The chancellor of UT says that Promise Plus has already been offered to students who are supposed to start this fall. And this is a huge opportunity for students who are first generation and thus don't have a lot of resources when it comes to applying for college.
3,800 plus new students have been awarded the Promise Plus scholarship. We hope all of them come.
The Bold Promise and the Bold Promise Plus program isn't just about funding the students. It's also about getting their name out there and ensuring that they're doing what they need to do in order to achieve the goals that they want to. It's not only about the money, it's also about the experience and the knowledge and skills that you gain with it.
You just heard from a student who said the only reason that she's able to go to college is because of this program. And that's the thing with the Bold Promise program that we've been talking to you about. Only about a third of students who were offered that money at UTSA actually took advantage of it. So that's something that we asked the chancellor about. What is he doing to make sure that more Texas families take advantage of this aid? And you're going to hear his response at 6 o'clock. At UTSA's downtown campus, Stephania Jimenez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Stephania. Rambutan, did I say that right? Do you know what that is?
No idea.
Okay, rambutan, breadfruit, and bitter melons. You know what it is, Kasky?
Nope.
Okay. What do all these foods have in common, other than the fact we don't know what the first one is? Well, they're all pretty hard to come by at your everyday grocer. But there's a new option on the market to satisfy your cooking cravings. We'll explain how to get those hard-to-find foods at your doorstep coming up.
Hi there, I'm Myra Arthur here in the KSAT 12 newsroom. It is spring break in SA, and that means finding something to do with the family. But high gas prices making it tough for a lot of people. There are some options, though. Today at 6, we talk to locals and out-of-towners who say spending a beautiful day at Brackenridge Park beats spending a lot more for gas to travel somewhere else. They're saving some money while also having some fun. We'll give you some ideas. Plus, from the warehouse to your kitchen table, RJ Marquez taking us on a tour of HEB's new facility on the northeast side for a closer look at what job opportunities it's offering and the economic boost that it's expected to provide for South Texas. All that and more coming your way tonight on the news at 6.
Thank you, Myra. We'll see you then. Well, we're learning more about COVID-19 antibodies.
Yes, we are. When it comes to breast milk in particular, a new study is finding that most moms who got the Moderna or the Pfizer mRNA vaccines developed antibodies in their breast milk. And those antibodies showed up about a month after the second dose was administered. That means they were likely passed on to the baby. Vaccines from Johnson & Johnson, on the other hand, and AstraZeneca did not provide those same levels.
New at 5, putting more spice in your life, or at least some different fruits and veggies. Or maybe you just want to try cooking an old family recipe, but you can't find the special ingredients. As 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains, there are some simple solutions, and they deliver to your doorstep.
For Althea Chang Cook, the Okinawan sweet potato was a tasty discovery.
I had them for the first time at my aunt's house. And then after that, I couldn't go back. Other sweet potatoes weren't as good, but they were almost impossible to find.
According to surveys, people who consume fruit say they're interested in more exotic varieties, like dragon fruit, jackfruit, and durian. But where can you find those ingredients to make ethnic dishes and more?
There are a number of online retailers and a few walk-in options that carry wider than average variety of new or rare fruits and vegetables.
For example, at Tropical Fruit Box, you can find other fruits you've probably never heard of, like soursop, breadfruit, and rambutan.
There's something to be aware of with free shipping. Some of these retailers may ship for free, but there are order minimums, and sometimes they can take, up to a week or even more to even get to you.
Desi Basket is an option for Indian staples like curry leaves, Indian okra, and tindora, and delivery is free with a minimum order. Have a favorite Mexican or Asian takeout dish you want to make at home? Hard to find ingredients like prickly pears, Mexican basil, and bitter melons ship from Oui. Of course, you can just try different chain grocers or mom and pop shops where you may discover something new to you. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All right, we saw what rambutan was. I had no idea. I had no idea what it was, let alone a fruit, before that story.
I challenge you to find a recipe with rambutan. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. No.
And you see those big jackfruits at H-E-B? I'm like, I wouldn't even know what to do with them. Yeah.
You got to be careful with some of these. You can really make them taste bad if you don't know what you're doing.
I have a hard time with an onion. You know what I use an onion for? Clean off the barbecue. That when it gets nice and hot, slice it in half and scrub it down. That's a good way to do it. All right, let's talk about our weather. A few storms are possible this evening into the nighttime hours. Some cool mornings ahead, but then comfortable afternoons. More of like what we had today, below average in the morning and then above average in the afternoon. But I want to get straight to that storm potential. Nothing popping up around here right now. And overall, I don't think you have anything to worry about in terms of storms around San Antonio. If we're lucky, we could get a quick shower. Most of the activity right now up I-35 north of Austin. And you see that yellow box that indicates the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect until 10 p.m., meaning that conditions are favorable for not just the development of thunderstorms out of our area, that is, but even some strong to severe storms. That's where we have the highest potential of the higher wind gusts and even large hail. Again, that's out of our area and even just north of Austin. Nonetheless, we could get clipped by some of that activity. And it's all part of a cold front that's headed our way, and that cold front's going to move through later this evening. So here's one computer rendition of what could happen, and I think this one's a little aggressive and showing a little bit more than what's going to actually happen in reality. But this is just one potential. And notice at 7 p.m., the tail end of a line of showers and storms potentially stretching down into parts of the eastern hill country here and maybe even clipping northern Bexar County. I think the primary locations where we could have a few of these showers and storms is east of San Antonio. We're talking Seguin, toward Gonzales, Shiner, Moulton, Hallettsville, even down toward Cuero and Victoria as well. But notice at 10 o'clock, we could have a few popping up here just as that cold front moves through. It's unlikely we would see anything strong to severe in San Antonio. Okay, if we're lucky, we could get a few quick showers out of it. That's it. The severe potential this evening and into the early nighttime hours through about midnight is generally East Texas. That's where the action is going to be, and I think the rowdiest thunderstorms will be there. Around here, you get to Gonzales and Cuero, Victoria, Hallettsville. That's where we're right on the edge of that severe potential. But even then, it's a 1 out of 5 in that basically severe potential index. Of course, we could use all the rain we could get, even if it comes in the form of thunderstorms, as it often does as you get into the springtime. Drought monitor shows our area creeping into the extreme and severe drought category. Other rain chances, only 20% by this time next week. All right, we need the rain, and it's not in the cards right now. 82 right now. Dew point's not too bad. This cold front's going to move in, but not have a huge impact on temperatures. I mean, by tomorrow morning, we'll be in the upper 40s. By tomorrow afternoon, we're talking basically right near 80 degrees again for high temperatures. And going forward, a lot of sunshine, a bit breezy from time to time, and that's about it. Afternoon 70s and 80s this week.
Nice week to be off.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to the AT&T Center. The Spurs trying to get back on the winning side of the ledger tonight, Greg.
You know, and one of the weapons they have against Minnesota tonight is their bench. In fact, they are tied for the #1 scoring bench in the NBA with Miami. When we come back, we'll talk to Lonnie Walker about that. Also, when we come back, Deshaun Watson begins his interview process with potential teams that want to have him on their side. Coming up. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to the AT&T Center, where tonight the Spurs tip off their final 3 games of their 7-game homestand when they play host to the Minnesota Timberwolves. But so far, the Spurs have only been able to win 2 out of 4 games thus far in this homestand. Against the Lakers, it tied Pop with Don Nelson for the most wins as a head coach in the regular season, and then the record-setting moment last Friday against the Utah Jazz. The Spurs sit 12th in the Western Conference, 2 games back of the Pelicans, who own the 10th play-in position with 14 games left. One advantage the Spurs have in this stretch run is that they are tied with Miami for #1 in the league in bench points, led by Lonnie Walker IV.
You take great pride in it, you know, being the second unit team, you know, myself and Trey and all of us, we know when we get into the game, you know, there's no finding your rhythm. You know, we got to go in there and be on attack mode, aggressive offensively and defensively. And hopefully our defense transitions into our offense more so. You know, as the season and games proceed, you know, we're starting to find our niche and knowing what we do, and when we're out on the court, just playing to the best of our capability.
All right, here's the matchup tonight, 7:30. All the highlights for you tonight on the Night Beats.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
How would you like to be the guy who bid, over $500,000 for Tom Brady's final touchdown ball when he's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, only to find out this weekend, just hours later, that Brady was coming back? Such is the case, Brady announcing on social media this weekend that he's unretiring, and returning for his 23rd season in the NFL. Now, he will play for Tampa again as well. His announcement coming only 6 weeks into retirement. Here's what he said. "These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field, not in the stands. That time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates, and I love my supportive family that make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa, unfinished business." Meantime, Deshaun Watson will start meeting with teams interested in trading for him now that the Texans quarterback will not be criminally charged. He still faces 22 civil lawsuits from women who claimed he sexually assaulted them during massages, but a grand jury declined to indict him. According to ESPN, the first 2 teams will be the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints, who have already expressed offers and deals to the Texans for Watson. Live from the AT&T Center, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
We'll be right back. We want to give you an update on that fatal shooting we told you about at the top of the hour. SAPD Police Chief William McManus now confirming that a man was fatally shot by 3 SAPD officers this afternoon.
Yeah, this all happened at Hamilton Avenue and Calabar Road. That's near the Woodlawn Lake area. Chief McManus says the officers were patrolling the area when they came across the man who was wanted on 2 felony warrants, including assaulting a police officer and felony possession of a firearm. The chief says the victim may have had a gun. That's when officers fired. Arlie Waldman is at the scene. She's already speaking with family members of the victim. She has heard from the chief. We'll have that update with you on the news at 6.
Thank you so much for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News up next. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes.